right.
Hey, real quick. I know you guys like to start. I don't mean to start it that way. That's my first time hearing the full intro of that.
It's sick, right?
It's so fucking classic.
I love
Yeah. I feel like someone's gonna come and say, and now watching the amazing Benfica. Like coming to watch the stars of Benfica come play in a city near you. Like it's fucking Rafa. It's just Rafa though. It's just a picture of Rafa.
With like the Maradona, you know that picture where they put Rafa's face on Maradona with the hair?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Ronaldinho doing the flex.
God damn, that's classic.
My God, it's been a long time since got the three of us together. It's been ages.
I know.
Yeah. It's been a minute, man.
They balled out again for us, Mario. This is what two shows, 2 goalie average. Crazy.
Yeah, I tell you, Schmidt gets he has notifications on the YouTubes. He gets a notification being 90's going on. He's like, I gotta show up, man. I don't want to get those shitties.
I mean, he was close, but I mean, today's even we got an extra gift. We got Mello on the pod. We got Porth drawing in the 94th
we
minute.
just saw that. Yeah.
If we get real off, like we were just saying, if we get real off to get some points for us later, it'll be a real Benfiquista kind of day, right? It'll be a real Benfiquista kind of day.
Like effectively, Porto now they're at 49 points. They're almost 10 points behind. We're in the second half of the season. It's getting very, very time. Real quick, Boris said, what time is it? All the way here, it's just 3:16. There we go. And
it's 12. It's 12:16 in the afternoon for me. It's lunchtime.
East Coast. There we go.
Yeah. Real quick, Mario. I just wanted to say, Porto's so far back right now in my mind that I'm not watching them worried about them catching up. I just watch them to lose. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I just hope they lose just for the sake of it. Just because my fan, just want to see them win type of shit. But I'm not. It's not like in years past where you're like, okay, you're doing like, all right, they win this one 3-4. Oh, that's a point. It's not like that. It feels kind of good.
What's crazy?
It's not critical for them at this stage now, right? Like it's
right.
It's done. Because even like if you look at it, they're 9 points after this draw. They're 9 points behind Benfica, right? But they're 6 points behind Sporting, and Sporting has 2 games in hand. So they're either 9 to 12 points out of first place.
Done.
Yeah. There's 11 matches left, right? So there's 33 points at play. But I'm sorry, Benfica and Sporting aren't going to drop 9 to 12 points. You know what I mean?
And
Ross.
Sporting.
Yeah,
there it is. Awesome.
I kind of feel bad. You never see it, Ross, but I have it behind my desk. But I was like, you know what, today?
Joe was hyped up today.
And speaking of just real quick of Rio Ave, Sporting's just playing. They're just playing. They're like a
machine.
Damn, they're a machine right now, man. Yeah, they play so.
Amazing.
They play so well. Yeah, they play so well. It starts with that guy. For me, it starts with the guy up top. I mean, that guy is such a stud, man.
You know what sucks?
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Jeez.
I can't it's not even a guy that you don't like. Poor Ted Otavio, even Taremi, that are just unlikable play. He's really him and João Neves, and I've seen a bunch of tweets about this from Benfica, Sporting, Porto Braga fans. Like every fan base in the league, they love those two guys, right? João Neves makes sense because he's Portuguese, but Gyökeres, I mean, I wouldn't blame Benfica fans if they hated him. I love him. Like that guy's going to the Prem next year for $100 million, and I wish him all the best. I just hope that he goes in a scoring drought here in a little bit. But.
It was against Benfica that I realized that goal he scored against Benfica was. I still remember that shit this season. That shit was a rock, like on the run rocket top right. Like this shit was vicious. I was like, oh man. As soon as I saw that shit, I was like, damn, the hype is real, huh?
Is this also in the last couple of months? This is the second time Mourinho's been at Luge or within the last month or so.
Yeah.
You notice that? He keeps showing up in the stands, Mourinho. That's it's his past.
Mario.
Doesn't he live down the street?
Well, because he must live in Lisbon now. He was in Rome, obviously. But
Mario, the thing is, he's not going to the Sporting matches or Porto matches. He's coming just to our matches. That's all he's coming out to.
Did you see he was at the Vitória Setúbal match this morning or last night? I forget which one it was.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, he was in the stands and they showed him talking to a bunch of fans. It was great. He was just hanging out, not in the box. Well, they don't have boxes. Well, they do have a box or two there.
Kind of, not real. It's not like a legit box.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, do you bring up Mourinho because is there like some rumblings there? Is there like is the fan base getting kind of like because you know how it goes, right? You know how the shit goes. You know
Yeah,
how
they start
Benfiquistas
playing
are.
in the next
They
position,
start
right?
they start planning the next. Well, I don't like how Roy like. I remember last year, and I don't love everything Roger does. There's some crazy shit. We're gonna talk about it a lot. But I thought it was so funny how last year when he first came on, everyone loved it. Like there was no like what the like we didn't question him so much, right? And
Yep.
then the guy brought it, and then we won the league, and then now we're like we question everything the guy does, like where it's just like what is
But
he
you know
doing
what
here?
the
What
thing
is he
is to
doing
me,
there? Like
Mello?
it's
It's like the
crazy.
fact that the roster, if you look at the roster on paper, we only got better, right? Like this
We
wasn't.
feel strong. We feel stronger today than we were last year, but we feel weaker. Like we're Jekyll and Hyde. Like I made
Is
a
it
comment
because
on
the
last.
way he runs it? Is it because the way
Yes,
he's running
I
it?
think so.
Okay.
I think because, for
Yeah,
example, I think it's a mixture of like last season. So obviously the style of play and everything that we came to love about Roger Ball came from like the gegenpress, right? The you lose the ball, you go get it. Everyone attacks together, everyone defends together, like pressure, pressure, pressure. And now you bring in Di Maria, who can't do that. Okay, that's one thing. And then you start messing around with the positions, right? Like Ausners is playing at the back for one reason or another. You got João Mario doing his thing. And then you just got players that have down years, like no Gonçalo Ramos, so that you start with that. You lose Enzo halfway through the season, but then you get Cox, so you get good guys. So it's tough, man. It's like, to me, I think it's half roster, half like Roger doesn't want to ruffle feathers in the locker room, but I think that's hurting him. I think it's biting him in the ass.
Yeah. Not being able to talk, like I haven't been here. Obviously, you guys know I've been doing a lot of things, working and stuff like that. I want to be here, so not being able to talk about Benfica, I've had to have a lot of internal discussions with myself, right? And what I've come to realize is that I think all this mess started. Really, what it is in the Roger Ball has changed because we lost Grimaldi. I don't know if anybody has admitted that or anybody wants to say that out loud or has said it yet, but we still haven't been able to replace that position. We've signed like 3 left backs since Grimaldi. That like we've been through 3. Yeah, and now we got a guy who plays left back who's not even a left back. You know what I mean?
This is I will say today. Like, actually, let me share the screen real quickly. I'm going to put the starting 11 because my biggest thing
let's do that.
Ooh, Baby Mello. Baby Mello's getting lit up.
Yeah, you heard that? You hear him? Little guy.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Real quickly, man, how would I do this a little bit better? Yeah, let's just
let me just take this out so you can kind of actually.
There we go. A little bit better. That's perfect. There we go. So the one thing I'll pick on, and we got our starting 11, is 2 items. Like you just said, Alex. We had some left. We lost Grimaldo. The replacements weren't good. We went out in the January window, got some replacements, and there's Arsenal on the left. We got Rafa as a striker, and that's now the second time we've done it. Like, to me, in my mind, so I had a chat with individual James. He runs a really successful Rangers pod, and he was kind of talking about, we talked about the squad, this and that, and I told him, like, as I was chatting with him, I chatted him before the match today, and I saw the lineup as I'm talking to him, and I let him know one frustration is we signed all these strikers. They didn't work. We then went in because the guy made a comment. I looked at your January window. You guys signed a bunch of strikers. How are they? Hard to tell because here's our final match before Sporting, then Porto, then Rangers. This is our final, call it weaker match, where if you want to give a run to one of the new strikers, you do it here. And instead we play Rafa. Now, Rafa had a great game. And Boris asked about Toulouse, and we'll probably talk about that one, right? But like,
we got that one up.
Rafa had a great game. I'm not trying to knock on him, but it's just kind of like, is this the lineup that you think we're going to face Rangers and Sporting to win the title, to go far in Europe? I don't know, man. Part of me, like, you don't have many opportunities left. Today was our last opportunity to kind of tinker a bit and give guys that haven't got a run before a run.
Yeah, right? You know what I would say. I think Roger is. I think he's become so Portuguese in this year here. In his first year, and what I mean by that is, like, we know that when we play Europa League, he'll have a striker. He won't play Rafa up top. You know what I mean? Like his lineup will change. That's something I haven't had to complain about too much. Like, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like Cabral has played. We'd have to go back and look at it, but I would imagine that he plays a little bit bigger in Europe than he does out in Portugal, as far as size. Because because and what I mean, and when I would say besides by that, there are plays where I'm watching us play, and they're half like the 50 minutes is half of the ball, half of the pitch, excuse me, and you have your offense lined up, and then it's like two big center backs, and you have Rafa just like kind of in the middle. Shit don't make sense sometimes to me. That's not going to work in Europe, but I just wonder.
And you saw like even in the first leg of the Toulouse match, he ripped Logan Costa, the Toulouse center back's jersey. Like he literally ripped a hole in it. He's like very physical. Like personally, but the thing that worries me is again, not only did he do this against like yes, it's not a European match. It's not like the Porto match we have. I mean, this week we're literally playing the next 7 days. We're playing Sporting and Porto, right? Yeah. So like,
and then we have a big gauntlet. Like it's a 7-day Sporting Porto Rangers. Like it is 3 critical matches.
Right, and so we'll probably talk through that a little bit more. But the main thing I want to say with that, Melo, is like the fact that today. No, go ahead. Go ask what you're going to ask.
No, I was going to say you say that we played Di Maria for 95 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
No. So that's
I think that's unnecessary. Like,
and today, I got you what you're saying. I got it. I see what you mean. One of the things going back to Roger not handling it right.
The thing that lit me up, Melo, most is that you have Antonio Silva playing. Once the game is 3 up, we're up 3-0. Take him off. If he got a yellow card, he would have been out against Port. Like and you want to do that? You want to put the team at risk? That's what I don't understand sometimes about Rodgers. Like you have Tomás Araujo. It isn't like you're playing João Vitor or even you have Morato as well. You have multiple good options that are proven, and you don't play them, right? And it's again, this is a nitpicky thing, but the whole point is you want to limit the worst case scenarios, and he doesn't do that. Like Rafa, he puts Rafa. And this is talking a little bit more about today's game. Yes, we won 4-0. Yes, Rafa had 2 goals in the system, was unreal. But I'm not saying not don't start Rafa. I'm definitely saying to start him. He's one of your best 11 players by far. But you're playing against a team with a low block. There were the 3 Pedron, Alemão is the guy in the middle, this Tornich guy. I guess that's how they have his name here. And Felipe Relvas, all 3 of them, Melo, they are 6'4". Okay, 6'4". Rafa's 5'7". Tell me how many times you saw us down the wings and no balls in the box because Rafa's a gnome.
Well, yeah, I mean Rafa's goals today too. If you just go back, they came from the wing position, right? They were not in a striker position, and I think it's not Rafa that I'm complaining about. And I kind of tweeted that it's not Rafa that I'm talking about in most cases. I think for me it's João Mario who I'm kind of talking about sometimes. He's the big one. You know what I mean? I think it's that. I think Rafa could do all these things. I think you could drop Koksu to that spot right there, where João Mario is. You could have Rafa drop back to where Koksu is, and you could play a striker, right? Yeah. And it's hard, and it's easy to say, oh, I mean, we scored 3 goals. Yeah, we scored 3 goals. I mean, and it happened boom, 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 boom like that. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying, like, how many chances could we pull? Do we have the stats? How many shots on goal did we have in the first half? I think
we had like 16 shots total at one point. I'm trying to think. Let me pull it.
I made in the first half.
I can do the first half once here on my phone, Melo. First half we had 10 shots, 3 on net.
3 on net. Okay, I said 1, but like you know what I mean.
But hold on, you want to hear the second half while we're at it? 12 shots, 10 on net. So
okay,
you go from having 3 shots on it to 10.
3 shots on goal. Okay, right. That's what I'm saying. So when you play, in my mind. When you play with so many wingers, there's a lot of pass. Like I said, okay, we get it. You're good at passing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it.
True, the shots in the second
half. You're going to like this cover a lot.
Yeah.
We're going to lose over. Yeah, I know. Oh, my God. That is.
Yeah, Nuno, Nuno's right. Cooks, I guess Koksu does have to play in the 10 spot, but like, damn. No, we got to figure out a way.
I think you can have Koksu in the 10, and you can have like a 2-striker system. Rafa, Leonardo.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Yeah, because they don't play the way. Yeah, there you go. Because it doesn't.
Mid.
There you go.
Get rid of João Mario, get another forward, and there we go. And all of a sudden, it blows up the front line. I think it's more aggressive, makes more room for Rafa, makes more room for everyone.
I think too, we forget that they don't play the way that it looks on the paper. You know what I mean? Like they don't stay that spot all the time. You know what I'm saying? I agree, Nuno, that Koksu does need to play in the 10. But, you know, I think, like I said, I do like Roger Ball, the way he does shift around players. You have a lot of players moving at a lot of different positions. I just think, I don't know. And I hate to always complain about João Mario. But like you guys said earlier, we have such a good team. And I can't believe that João Mario's outplaying all these guys in practice. You know what I mean? Like, or a break. Yeah.
Yeah. Give him literally, and they had the one match that he was on the bench, right? And
maybe we're just complaining about nothing because we won 4-0.
Right, but yes. But here's the thing,
I think this season we've seen this, like, to me, again, going back to Jekyll and Hyde, we have a great match, then a bad match, good match, bad match. It's like there's no consistency.
Exactly.
There's no That's a challenge. When I talked to the Rangers individual, James, he asked about Benfica. He's like, on paper we look amazing. I'm like, yeah, it's just if right Benfica shows up, we're world beaters. We'll compete with anyone in Europe.
Yeah.
We're world beaters. And then you catch us on the off day, and we're just struggling with a Liga NOS mid-table side, barely able to create anything. Like, it's weird. It's a weird Benfica right now. Like, I love the team. I think we have all the potential at the end of the season. We're all celebrating. We got past Portugal, the Liga, good run in Europe. We can be loving it, but it also feels like it all could collapse in the next 3 weeks.
And this one I'll say, I think this is just because he was taking the penalty kicks, right?
PKs, PKs. Come on, PKs.
He had a lot of MVPs.
I also don't want to take anything away from João Mario though. Last year,
no, that's not what I wanted.
He was class. This season, but hey, that's okay. Everyone has their up and down years. Right now, it's one of his down years, and this is the other thing, right? Like, for me, the odd thing, and there's a reason I put the Toulouse, score at the bottom there, is it was 0-0, but they had 6 big chances, and we were lucky to not get like a classic 4-0, 4-1 shellacking. We played. That was one of the worst games.
Trubin was a rock star. He's been an amazing.
The first leg. Yeah. And Trubin, if it wasn't for Trubin, we wouldn't be in Europe.
Yeah.
Right? Like.
Yeah, Trubin he's a godsend, man. He's so nasty, bro. So is João.
You know how old he is now?
Trubin's like 24, right?
Guess how old Trubin? Mara, do you know how old Trubin is?
Oh no, I want to. I would say 20. I would say 21.
22. He just turned 22 years old. August,
he's young.
Season.
We got to lock him down. We got to lock him down.
And João Neves is 19, 20.
Just
19.
turned 19. Yeah. You got Tony Silva too, who's just turned 20. Like,
that's crazy. Hey, I want to know. I saw the ratings. How did João Neves get a 5? What the fuck did he do so wrong?
2 things. One, he got kind of like wasn't involved in the goals, and then they pulled him because if you notice, everyone else, like I watched SofaScore during the game because I'm always curious to see, like, with my eye, how I think players are playing, and then to see how these apps rate them. For example, like Messi also on SofaScore, if you use SofaScore, he's always going to get like a 12 out of 10.
Yeah, there's a bias.
Crazy. Or like, or some even like Rafa, some games you'll see Rafa with an absolute stinker, and he ends the game with like a 7.1 because he's fast and he goes fast. I know it's all the algorithm. All their scores after João Neves came out. So to be fair, it's just that's kind of what
okay. I guess because that first half, I thought he played great. There's a lot of bias because there's a lot of hype around him, but I thought he played great. Last night, but Mario, you said something earlier, like the consistency. Somebody asked me last night. My buddy asked me last night. He goes, "You guys are in Europa. How do you think you guys can do?" I was like, man. I think, we could win it. Like, if we had some consistency, like if we could figure out a way to score goals early in the match instead of having to drag it out, like against, like, Toulouse, we didn't even score at that last game, but we had to drag it out against the first one, right? Like, we had to wait the last fucking lucky penalty. I mean, I guess not lucky. It was a penalty, but
still, we didn't play it as we didn't deserve the win, frankly. This is like, and there are times where, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, I will take this like one time. Hey, we didn't deserve to win and we went through, because there have been a lot of times where we deserved it and didn't go through, right? And I don't need to bring up examples, like we all know them. But that being said, don't be prepared for lightning to strike twice. We need to play better, or else we're going to lose next match. Because Mello, you bring up like, can we win Europa? I would love to, but when you actually look at the sharks that are in the water there, Liverpool, who just won the League Cup in England today. You got, and I'm just bringing up some of the bigger teams. Liverpool, Brighton, and West Ham, all from England, right? Liverpool's the only one I'm really afraid of there. Leverkusen, who literally have not lost the game all season. And they're going to win the Bundesliga for the first time in 11 years to not be Bayern.
Hey, that's the team I told my buddy. I was like, who do you think is going to win? I was like, if I be honest with you, I think Leverkusen's going to win. And he said, what about Liverpool? I just don't be trusting Liverpool.
Real Ave just scored.
Already?
Let's go. Let's see if this is now we're back. Can I quit?
Third minute.
I'm gonna play a video. This is because
Luis kid Embalo scored. The one who used to play for us on the B team.
So Luigi is he was at the stadium. He was at the match. He sent in this video, but he's screaming into it. So if you need to lower your audios, do it now. This is your warning. Here you go. And that's his mom right there. So he got to sit with his mom for the first time in a game.
It's awesome, man.
So we're gonna razz him up a little bit because he went to the Toulouse match, and if we hadn't done good, we would have been razzing him up. But there's a little bit of lucky charm left in this guy, anyways. There we go. So hopefully,
just now it's the Europa games. It's those Champions League, Europa League matches that that he can't go to anymore.
Yeah, no European more Fab. We're talking. We're putting this all on Luis, but Fabs too.
Yeah, poor guy. But you know what, man? It's amazing that he got to go. But yeah, he sent me a bunch of videos. I got a ton of videos. I'll let. He's gonna do his own video clips and stuff soon enough. Anyways, when he posts them, so keep an eye on his channel.
Mario, I'm curious, and from the Toulouse one, do we is there anything in Toulouse that you thought was the else that you wanted to mention? Like, to me, I just thought it was an absolute. Everyone was asleep. Every time they had a big goal scoring opportunity, we didn't wake up, but it was scary. It's the first time I looked at the team since the Sociedad match where we were just absolutely smothered by them in Spain, and I was like, this could be an absolute embarrassment, and I felt helpless. Usually you're mad, you're like, oh come on, wake up, we're gonna wake up, but anyway.
Well, I kind of look at Toulouse in a sense of just look at the 11 we had last weekend. We're all happy with it. We had such a great win. And he's like, oh, don't change anything. Go with it. And that's a disappointing thing. It doesn't change nothing. And it's just how different the team looks. He barely made any changes, right? And then again today, I don't know.
Luis was at the Toulouse match?
Yeah, he went to France.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And before he even said that, I was like, it's the Europa League games that he's not allowed to go to. You see what I'm saying?
I thought that's what you were saying because you knew it.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I didn't know. No. I didn't know that he went to that game. And then
oh man. But yeah, big difference today. I think this team has, sometimes we get negative. I see people online shitting on the team, especially first half. We haven't scored yet. And part of me, I'm sitting there, I'm like, right now, this squad, don't count them out. They can just show up. What they did in those 4 minutes, I think they can do it any day of the week. It's just when it's strike. You know what I mean?
When are they going to let – my thing is Leonardo, to me right now, is a better fit for the team as far as stylistically wise than Arturo Cabral. I like Arturo Cabral. Don't get me wrong. It took me a while. In the beginning of the season, I was like, damn, man, this dude came out of shape. He's not in shape. He's slow as fuck. It's not – he reminded me of it like a bad version of Mitroglou, right? He had the body and stuff. I was like, This is not who I want. Even runs kind of like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that blue run.
It's like a Mitroglou missing a chromosome.
Exactly.
Him, but he's not
Brazilian. I didn't like him, and then he started to come along, and then I was like, actually, I kind of do like this guy. He started scoring some goals, some nice goals, some striker goals, right? Some big body, some big man goals, right? I was like, okay, I like this guy. And then you have days like today or stretches where he doesn't even play. He's not even playing. Is he resting for Sporting or Porto? Or who's he resting for? What are we resting him for? And
that's the thing.
And then guys like Di Maria is playing every match. He's playing 93 minutes against Portimao today. That shit doesn't make any sense.
And with the thing, that's just piss poor management.
Managing.
Yes, did he score? Yes. The second he scored, he should have come off. And that's what I'm not getting. You have guys on the bench that are fresh. I'm sorry. if I was Marcus Leonardo, I wouldn't be.
He's got 4 goals
if it was
already.
me,
He's barely
I wouldn't
played.
be too thrilled. Mario, he gets put on in the 89th minute. I wouldn't be too happy with that. I'll let you address that, Mello.
Yeah, I'm in witness. If I move far back enough, you'd think I'm in witness protection program because the lighting in the room isn't too good.
In the baby protection program.
Yeah. Hey, Salvia's not the only one that needs to be freed around here sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They need to get it free. You know what I'm saying? Salvia's not the only one locked up, guys. You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Where's Brian when you need him? Brian's always in the chat with the free Salvia.
Yeah, free Salvia. You guys want to jump in?
That's okay. That was a fun.
As long as they stay tied up, man. If they just drop points, it makes our life a little easier, hopefully, right?
It's and you know what the thing is, and it was the thing to me is the match that they have in hand is the Familia match. They haven't rescheduled it, I'm pretty sure, and that's a very tough team. So like, it's not like they're playing, Vizela or the bottom of the table teams. But I don't know, man. I think if we take care of business, because we still have a big game against Braga at the end of the season, second last game of the season. You play Porto this week. We played Sporting 3 times, obviously 2 for the Taça, 1 for the Liga. But like, if we take care of business with us, I'm okay. Because guess what? If we beat Sporting, we're in first place all of a sudden, right? Regardless of what else they do.
We just got to take care of ourselves. It's just, I feel, is this going to sound horrible? As a neutral watching Sporting, I feel more confident in their ability to win majority of the rest of their games. Where on our side as Benfiquista, I feel anxiety given the kind of flip-flopping we're doing with our games, right? So I would just love what I've wanted all season, which we haven't had, is just a nice long streak of confidence. And maybe we'll get it. Maybe we'll get it soon. Maybe we get, again, if we start looking ahead at our schedule, we start looking at what Benfica has planned for us. We got
the team. I think we got the team to do it, though. I mean, not being biased, but like even talking about Europa, right? Like, I mean, if you want to go player for player, yeah. I mean,
oh no, we should, but that's the issue, Mello. We should
certain spots, like there's certain spots on Liverpool that we can't touch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Salah, right? Like you know what I mean? Like that guy's untouchable. Like we have no one to compare.
Honestly,
to that.
Liverpool is a team where if you look at Liverpool, I don't think we can compare when they're healthy. The thing is, they're never healthy. Plus, it's Klopp's farewell tour, so they are all
so they're going for everything.
That's a big reason. Even their kids, they played a bunch of U21s today. Not actually, but basically, it was like kids with no experience and extra time, and that's what won the game. I mean, Van Dijk scored, but they were outplaying Chelsea.
Don't lie. The reason why Liverpool won today is because of the Enzo curse.
True.
Yeah.
True.
The Enzo curse.
And I'm okay with that.
I love it.
Hey, when I haven't been, when I saw that he was trying to leave Chelsea, bro, I couldn't feel more like happy. Yeah. I couldn't feel more like vindicated.
Karma.
Because you know what? I don't know who was in his camp. I don't know what guy was in his camp or what dude was in his camp, like telling him things. But like any fool would have saw, like Chelsea was nowhere near Europa League. Like they weren't even going to play in the Europa League the next year. You know what I mean? Like they finished so far last. That's what I'm saying. Like he wasn't going to play under any more lights. Like whoever told him that, hey, play for Chelsea, they play in the Champions League, they play in Europa League. Yeah, that was the last 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like there was no future for that team in my mind, other than money. I guess though. I mean, in England, if you got the dough, you could turn any team around real fast. You know what I mean? Like at least a mid-table, at least Champions League worthy, I guess. I mean, to qualify for the Europa even.
Right. I don't blame players if they go for the money, but just like if that's the case, don't complain when you're losing. You know what I mean? And don't try to weasel your way out. I know he said that those were rumors, but I wouldn't be surprised. He also said, I'm staying, and then he left.
Yeah,
I don't trust the thing he says anyway.
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah. The only difference here is that at Benfica, given his wages and things of the sort, it was an upscale improvement. There is no club in the right mind that will pay what Benfica received to Chelsea over 100 million, plus honor that 8-year contract at that salary level. They look at him, they go, "You're not worth this money." Only if someone gives a fat, huge check and he takes a massive pay cut, maybe. But there's no one. If a club's going to spend over $100 million, there is like 100 plus players that clubs would sign over him. Like he's so bottom of the barrel, and Chelsea aren't going to let him go for cheap either. They go, we got him for 8 years. Let's see if we turn him around. He's trapped. He basically got himself trapped in a bit of a dumpster fire in Benfica.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, Mario, do we want to do – I'm curious. Do we want to do because one of the things I did want to talk about, especially since you went on the show with the Rangers, your Rangers buddy James, is talking about a little bit more like the Europa League and everything. Do we want to close out the Liga?
Yeah, let's do the Shitty match, all that fun stuff. We'll get that going here real quickly.
Whoop. I trust you over there on the switches and dials.
Bam! So, not bad. Melly, I've been here in ages, man. Do you want to kick it off with your player of the match, release of the match? Which one do you want? Pick one, and we'll do the circle around.
You're on mute.
You just got to unmute, though. That's only. I don't know why you went to mute. I think he's telling.
You're on mute, Mello.
There we go.
I guess I'm the shitty, sir. I'm the fucking shitties.
Shitties of the match, the IT department.
Let's start with the shitties. Yeah, let's start with the worst. Let's get that shit out of the way.
Yeah.
My shitties of the match. Oh, man. I mean, we played a pretty well game. It's a tough one. It is pretty tough. I think it's tough. I think it's a tough one. I think everybody played kind of pretty good today. Man, I'm just trying to see if anybody missed anything in my mind. I'm gonna go with João Mario. I have to. I think I do. I didn't want to do it either. I didn't want to. Hey, usually I'm hella fast. I already know. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just give it to him because it's so easy, so fucking easy to give it to him. You know what I'm saying? I always say this about him. He's just that player who just like doesn't have, he's that character. I always say this is my joke. Don't let nobody steal it. When you start to build a character, you know what I'm saying? When he stands there and he's like bald and nothing, he ain't got no attributes, no face, no nothing.
Default attributes.
Yeah. That's him, man. That's him. He's just a fucking baseless character sometimes to me. You know what I mean? And I really do feel like he bitched his way into minutes. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what bothers me the most about him playing. I think he did. I like that. I think he bitched his way. I think he did bitch his way into minutes. And I don't know whose ear he had. I don't know whose ear he got, but I remember a couple.
Nagged Roger.
Yeah, just and then fucking Roger's probably like, fine, bro, fine. Well, fucking play. God damn, just go play. You want to fucking play so much. You know what I'm saying? When you lose an argument, you tell somebody, just fucking go. If you fucking want to, just fucking do whatever you want. All right, fine. I'm fucking tired of listening to you fucking nag all the time. So I think he just bitched his way into minutes, a lot of minutes. I think he's bitched his way into so many minutes, he doesn't even get subbed out. Roger's like, you want to play, motherfucker? You're going to play every fucking game. You're never going to come out. I'm going to run you into the fucking ground.
You know what Roger's saying? He's like, does this guy not get hurt? Where are people with the leg-breaking tackles now?
He's I'm giving him no minutes, no rest.
He's a 67 speed, okay? He's not getting hurt, bro. He's like a Honda. You know what I mean? He's like quick, but not fast. Yeah, he's quick, but he's not fast. You know what I mean? And he's just going to run forever.
Good, still a Honda.
That's what he is. He's a Honda Civic. João Mario is a Honda Civic. He's quick, he's not fast, and he's never going to break down, and he's just going to keep fucking running forever and ever. And I have the car now. I'm going to pass it on to someone. Someone else will have that car for a long time. We'll never get rid of this fucking Honda, bro. And then it'll break down, and then it'll be stuck in front of your fucking house. It'll get us tagged, when they're going to come tow it. It's like one of them tags you can't peel off your window. That's João Mario, bro.
That's hilarious.
Not bad. I had to.
I would say the same for my shitties of the match. And if you look at his stats too, he only missed 3 passes, and he had 99 passes, and he was 96 for 99 or something like that. But okay, that doesn't really. But that happened to Weigl too, and everyone was on his ass, right? Just because he didn't make the right passes. Today, my thing with João Mario is like, especially in the first half, what frustrates me is there were times where you would see the ball kind of, because Portimonense was playing a low block today, right? So you'd see everyone on the edge of the 18. Of course, we don't have anyone in the 18 because Rafa is 5'3", and all their center backs were 6'7".
He's 5'8", but yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't buy he's 5'8" either.
Yeah.
He's 5'6", 5'7".
I don't either.
But no, seriously. But João Mário would slow it down. Like, you'd see João Neves. João Neves would hit the ball over to Frederick. Frederick, he'd dribble, look, Coxu, same thing over to Di Maria. Di Maria to bot. Like, everyone is moving it fast. The ball gets to João Mário, it, like, stops. It's like, bro, there are times when we need you to slow down the game and do your thing, right? Manage the game, as people say. It wasn't today. So, yeah, he's my Charisse. I'm not sure about
But, Joe, that's what we do, though, too. That's what we do is we pass. So when you tell me a Benfica player passed 98 times and he only missed 3 passes, like, I'm going to tell you, like, so? Like, that's what we fucking do. We pass. We're the best passers. We pass the shit out of the ball. You want to see some passing? Fucking watch it for Benfica. We're going to pass
literally
all the time, bro. All the time. We even passed the fucking plate at church. We even put fucking all the shit. All right? All the shit. We're the best passers. That doesn't impress me, bro. Like, it doesn't.
No, me neither.
Passing. So.
I'll take a slightly different one. I'll give my logic. I'm going to give the Charisse to actually Roger. And the reason why I'm giving it to Roger is the few
because he played João Mário.
There's that. Speaking of João Mário, you think of the substitutions. He did some substitutions in the 66 minutes, 60. He did some, 69 minute. João Mário only came out in the 80th.
You're right, dude. You're right.
And you waited the longest.
Who was
this is our last match that we could experiment with a striker, and he didn't really do it.
Somebody tweeted it. So I'm because I liked it. He was like, you're gonna make a sub. You're not subbing Di Maria out. He's 40. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, he's 40, man.
I saw that.
We need Di Maria healthy. Like, if Di Maria plays the full 90 against Sporting and the full 90 against Porto, I don't want to hear, because I see some people hating on Di Maria. I'm sorry, this man is having one of the best seasons of his career.
It was Benfica 1699. That's what it was.
Given for goals and assists, this is probably his top 3rd season ever. He's ancient, and what he's doing with, like, at this age with limited rest, when we have the ability to rest.
Mario, I agree.
I don't know, man. We should sub off early. After we got those 3 goals, great. Get them off. Get João Mário off. Switch it up. Throw a striker up front. Give Leonardo some more minutes. Right? Don't wait so long. I don't know. I think this was our last chance to play, because I don't want to goof off with the Taça. I want to beat Sporting.
Yeah.
And to me, the Taça is psychological warfare. We're neck and neck with Sporting for the Liga title. We're gonna go to Taça Portugal. If we beat Sporting at the Alvalade, we go to their ground and we beat them, and we get one leg ahead in this tie. Psychologically, it's going to screw with them with all their Liga matches, because they got Benfica breathing down their neck. But if they spank us because we don't rest our guys, they beat us, and they're technically ahead of the table. They go, we got this. We focus on us, and then we flounder, right? So it's I really think we could have switched it around. I think the Mourinho thing is still hilarious. I love this thing.
Yeah, we do need to get that. We do need to be breathing on their neck. I need like mouth breathing too, like.
It's
kind of that kind of like.
But here's the thing, though,
that big guy breath.
They haven't beaten us this seaon, right? We beat them in an absolutely demoralizing, crazy game in Super Taça was Porto, but
Porto, yeah, you're right. Porto,
yeah, but no, I mean,
in dramatic fashion. We beat it in dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
Like we lost, our biggest losses have been to Boa Vista, right, and then Estoril, because those are the only teams we've lost to this season in like Portuguese competition. But the whole point is,
the thing is, I'd rather go in and get ideally a win, because I still think psychologically it gives us one leg up against them.
That's what I mean.
I think it's a big one, so I hope we do well against that.
It's away.
It's away. It's in their stadium, so
both teams are away. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying you beat Porto away. You beat Sporting away, excuse me. You beat Porto away. Then I'm sorry, but when you play Sporting for the second leg of the Taça at home, and then you have to go and play at Alvalade. The next match is at Alvalade. We have 2 matches. It's like it's April 3rd and 7th or something like that against Sporting back to back. Sporting's going to be like, listen, man, we played these guys 3 times now. We've won 0 times.
It's so hard to beat.
We're starting to slip. We just got knocked out of Europe because they're playing at Atalanta. I don't know if I have confidence.
It does mess. It's kind of like
so hard to do. It's so hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. It's almost
it's like every time
that's what I'm saying.
Every time you see a team beat a team,
you lose that third time.
They meet in the playoffs. That team's out.
I agree, man. I agree. It's so hard to do, and such a rival game. And I'm not even saying we'll lose. Maybe a draw. I'll never say we'll lose to them, but like you're at least do a draw out of one of those. You know, one of those meetings, especially just we got them at the Luge next time, right?
No, the Tassa. For Tassa we play first Alvalade.
No, Alvalade. No, I mean away. The Liga. The next one's away, right? The Liga match.
No, the next. Yeah, both of us. So we play them. We play them one more time in the Luge. The next Liga one is away, and the first one in the Tassa. The first leg of the Tassa is away. So we need to. And again, in the fourth match is away, but we play Rangers at home.
But
so
it's
that's
not
like,
in a way.
You have 2 tough matches and then back home.
It's not an away game. It's just not in our stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Different.
That's a little shade. I'm throwing this. It's just they probably walked there. You know what I'm saying, to get their blood pumping. You know what I'm saying? Probably jogged over there. You know what I'm saying? Probably put masks on, jogged over there. You know what I'm saying? Like over the little bridge. You know what I'm saying? Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's
no. They go over where the fans smell. A police escort. They just walk over.
Yeah.
Hey, I just got a live update here. It's footage of the Benfica parking lot. Supposedly Roger Schmidt's trying to get original audio. Here you go.
Here we go, gents. Another round of get out my whip. I'm done. I don't need you anymore, woman. Get out of my car. Get out of my car. I'm done. I don't want to hear it. You don't want to get out? All right. Okay. I'm going in the store. Bye. Bye, woman. Yeah, you can't resist this. You know you gonna follow. You know you want to know who I'm talking to in the store. And I just wait around him, creep around these cars, and swalla bow, swalla bing. And I am off. Lock the doors. I'm gone, you crazy woman. Get out of my car. I'm done. She belonged to the street.
There we go. All right, so we'll see if next lineup he's still there.
I hope that was real footage.
That was Salvio when he ran over his girl to put up their video. If y'all didn't know, that's what it was. He didn't run her over. She didn't let go of the fucking car, and she got dragged a little bit. He didn't run her over.
I love that little sneaky come back.
I'm glad we were able to clear Salvio's name, dude. You know what I mean? Like, jeez.
Sweet cheese. All right.
I'm curious about your play of the match and your man of the match. Then also some interesting comments here in the chat.
Yeah. I'll do my play of the match real quick. Mine is 4 glorious minutes. That's just
4
amazing.
minutes.
4 minutes of like ecstasy. Just amazing. I can't. That was amazing.
My play. I'm gonna go my player and my play because that's the same. They did the same thing. My player of the match for me was Neres. I just like that guy, man. He's so good. Every time he's in a lineup, starting lineup, I already know. Like we're gonna score some goals. Like I feel confident. Like he's gonna do something special. And I thought his goal to me was the play of the match because he did what he's supposed to do. He's faster player. He got the ball, received it beautifully, ran, straight down the pipe, and then made the touch past the goalie into an empty net. Come on, man. That shit was beautiful. So player of the match, Neres, player of the match, Neres, play of the match, Neres. I thought his goal. I like the Trivela, don't get me wrong. I like Di Maria's. It was all beautiful. But to me, Neres is just that man. He's just that boy. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad he's healthy. I'm so glad he's getting minutes. And Roger, if he's handling anybody well, it's him. I'll be honest. It's him because he really is getting the best out of this kid every time he's in the game. I've never seen a game since he's come to Benfica where Neres took off or anything like that. Yes, he's been upset, but I don't see where he's this basket case like everybody thought he was coming to Benfica. He got hurt. He got hurt last year too. He got hurt this year, and he Roger stringed him along a little bit, and now he's back in the starting lineup. It's just killing shit, man. I love it. I love to see it.
I agree, Mello, with the play of the match. It was, to me, it was the whole play where Koksu gets the ball and that beautiful pass through, right? Like, but then also the way he finished it, because Nash could have taken the shot. And at that point, their keeper was standing on his head. He could have easily taken the shot from the edge of the box or tried to chip him or whatever. He goes around him. Beautiful goal. So that's the goal is my play of the match. And my man of the match, similar to you, or I guess on a similar note, is on that play, but Koksu. Like, even in the first half, I was saying, to me, he looked fresh. He was playing the number 10 role for the first time in a long time that I can remember, if at all. I'm trying to think back to that Vitória game at the Luge back in August if he was playing there. But regardless, it's been a while. He's been playing that solid 8 role in the midfield for a while. But, you know, ultimately, he played in 10 role today. He showed everything that he could give us against the team with a low block. Obviously, things opened up in the second half, and you really saw what he was capable of. But for me, you know, I guess it's a really but then you get into kind of this tricky situation talking about lineups, because Carlos here brings up a good point about Rafa, right? Like, we love to love him, love to hate him, all that stuff. But
no, when he's on, man. That's the thing. That's the thing with Rafa.
Yeah,
when he's on.
He's for sure.
The first half, though, he was taking chances, Mario, and I expected Rafa to come away with at least 1 or 2 in the first half. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there was the one where he didn't pass it to Romani. I'm not saying the guy shouldn't do it. It's not realistic to think he could do everything perfect all the time. It's just that
he does have
his attitude like dictates these games a lot, which sucks. But like when you're the number 9, when you're the star of the team, in the case of Rafa, right? Like, what you do is going to affect a lot of people on the team. That's all I'm saying. And we saw that because he has 2 goals and assists, and great team performance. Great performance from him.
Joe in chat. I'm well past complaining about Rafa. That's not what I'm doing. And if I don't give the player the match, and I don't mean that like, oh, Neres means so much. What I'm saying is Rafa's a staple of the team. I already know Rafa's going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Who's Rafa? That's what I get. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And who's it? Yeah, and who is it that's going to do it with Rafa? That's my thing right there, Mario. That's exactly who is going to do it with Rafa. You know what I mean? Rafa's going to go in there. He's going to do his fucking thing. Who's the guy that's going to, like, I don't know, create other chances, like just create mismatches. And I'll be honest, I don't think they play enough through Neres when he's in the game. Like, it took him forever to get the ball. We're always playing that right side of the pitch. Like, it takes forever.
Di Maria just to cut back. It's the same thing every time. Di Maria can't run.
And I'm not. And again, man, I'm way past complaining about the team. I'm not doing that. I just sometimes shit don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, why does it take to the second half to get everybody involved? Because we're force feeding Rafa. Like, we forced fed Rafa in the first half. Like, that's really what it was. 3 shots in the first half. Who took them?
Oh, in the first half?
One was Otamendi. One was Otamendi.
Oh, yeah. Otamendi, yeah.
Nares that got blocked. And then I'm trying to think of
Then Rafa.
Yeah.
Rafa had one.
Actually, it's saying Rafa had 2 shots on target, 2 shots off target, and 1 shot blocked. So he actually didn't have as many shots as he gets.
I mean, that's a lot of shots still, Mario. For considering
that's a lot of shots.
Considering we had like how many shots against Toulouse.
Good though. And again, man, I'm not complaining. It sounds like we're bitching or something like that. We're not. I'm not. I'm just saying, like, you spent $20 million on Marcos Leonardo, bro. Like,
again, going back to why I picked Schmidt as my shooter.
We're
up winning. Bring Leonardo earlier. You know what I mean? Experiment a bit. Saying, okay, we're up winning. Let's pull out João Mario. Let's pull out Di Maria. Pull one of those 2 guys early, right? Because they need rest. Di Maria more so.
But my thing,
and just see if you can do something else.
You're talking about with Rafa in like the secondary striker position or playing Rafa back in the 10, because when you look at it, it's like, all right, we don't want Rafa to be our striker. Fine. So that means you need to play him at the 10. That means you need to push Koksu back to the midfield again, where he doesn't play as well.
Go 2 strikers.
Well, yeah, that's fine with me. I'd be okay with that. But then you have to. Then what do you do in the midfield? Right. So then your midfield, you don't have the wingers, or you do like the outside mids, and then. But when you actually start, if you brought up the lineup again, Mario, that's where I started to just realize it really is tough for Roger, because I think our best left back is Carreras Alvaro, right? The kid that we picked up from Spain. And so let's just pretend
Manchester United guy.
Again,
Manchester United.
Let's pretend. You put Alvaro at left back. Okay, that means Frederick has to go somewhere. where does Frederick go? He pushes out, just in terms of names, he probably pushes out João Mario. Okay? But where do you put Frederick? You probably put Frederick either on the wing, in which case you have to take out Neres or Di Maria, which I wouldn't do. Right? So right there, you say he has to go in the midfield. And to me, you push Koksu up, right? And then so you switch Koksu with João Mario and pretend that João Mario is Ausner's. And then that means Rafa's up at the 9 still, and you're like, okay, we have to push him back for a striker.
So
that,
I would have done.
What I mean? It's like this.
I know what you're saying. I would say it's tough in the second half. Once we're clearly winning with the 3 goals.
Yeah.
What I would have done is you could bring on, the guy from United, right? You bring him on as left back. So we want to see if this guy can do it. You pull off João Mario for him. You bring Frederick up there, or we also took out Neves, right? Neves early. Bring in the striker. Right. Keep Coxon in the 10 and do the 2 strikers. You're winning. I could care just slaughter. Like you're winning 3-0.
Let me ask y'all this.
Try something different.
Let me ask you guys this. This answer me a lot of questions with the guys we got on the team. And in the chat, do this in your mind. If you took all these players off your squad, off the paper right now,
make a new team,
and made with the guys we got, I probably guarantee that João Mario is not in that lineup. And really, if we're all being honest with each other, what Zach just said is probably right.
I'm not gonna
honest to
lie.
God. Honest to God, what Zach just said is probably right. Because if we all started it because we've seen Fred up top, we've seen Fred left wing, we've seen Fred right wing. It don't work if his best place is playing left back. And like you just said, Joe, and he's not even our best left back. Something's amiss.
I'll say something, Melo. The one thing I will say, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this too, Mario, is for me, it's like Frederick, I almost would, if I was being honest, if I told myself, okay, what do you need to do to make this team the best team? I'm actually going to say you take out Di Maria and you put on Frederick in his place. Why? Because the press. Because when it comes to, or like people are saying, like Zach and I. But for me, seriously, Melo, when the team was playing their best, I keep thinking of when Ausner was on the wing and he was pressuring a ton. Di Maria doesn't press. Mm-hmm. If you want to get us back to last season with a Gegen press, because you don't take out Neres, because he can press, you put
but you're talking about Grimaldo again, Joe. You're talking about Grimaldo again. We don't got him no more.
But that's fine, because he'll get up top. Will he defend?
Well, what I'm saying is, how good did they play together? How good did Fred and Alejandro Grimaldo play last year together?
Unreal.
They were so good together. They were so good together because Grimaldo could come and play as free as he wanted, and Fred is going to do his little magic thing up there on the left wing, and he's going to come back and he's going to press. Like it was so great. And I'm not that's no knock to Neres. That sounds fucked up because Neres ain't gonna come make them plays like Fred. It's not.
But that's fine. That's fine because he's gonna.
I agree. I agree. It's fine. I'm willing to take that. And I'm okay with having Fred on the bench because, when you're 60 minutes into a match and you're like, damn, I'm not feeling something. Put Fred's ass in there. You know what I mean? That makes me feel better.
Between those two, João Mario and Di Maria, the amount of beautiful plays that Di Maria does throughout the match. Like I know a lot of people shit on him, but my God, he will dance around players. Even though he's old and slow, he dances around players and makes them look like fools. Does some amazing passes. The amount of distribution is amazing. Like some of the balls he got across today, like he finds open players more than João Mario.
I agree, Nuno.
So that's my thing. I think it comes down. It goes back to João Mario.
You know what? Di Maria might not. If you really looked at it, you might have a Benfica purist who might be like Thiago Gouveia. Probably, I'll put him somewhere in there instead of Di Maria at this point. I'm just saying, like I'm not saying that's the truth.
I think playing Di Maria on a regular basis is just guaranteed.
It's crazy. It's wild. That's wild. It's wild. Man, he's 40 years old.
Well, and you know what's the crazy thing actually you just brought up, Melo, is the fact that when you do have Gouveia in the game, like you saw when he came on. Yeah, did the Portuguese team break down, right? They weren't defending and everything. But you see him, when he's on, he never fails to take on the other team's outside backs. João Mario wouldn't do that. João Mario would never do that. He'd cut it back and give us possession. I'm sorry, like you said, Melo, sometimes I get sick of us having possession. I'd rather us go down
I get don't apologize to me, brother.
Especially in the Liga, right?
Hey, Don't you dare apologize to me for that shit. I tweeted, hey, I get it. Y'all could pass good, bro. How many times? Bro, it's like watching. Sometimes it's crazy. It's like watching hockey, where you're kind of just like
back and forth, like tennis.
Back and forth, tennis. It's tennis. Yeah, you're just like,
you gotta
like, oh my god,
I pulled up the stat.
You gotta shake your shit.
Quick game.
There he is.
Quick game. There's free salvio. Quick game.
Brian doesn't fail.
Di Maria, in minutes played. We have a starting 11, we got substitutions. Where do you think Di Maria ranks for minutes played on the squad?
Okay, so you take
Not
out
total minutes. Where would he rank? You
take out
top
keeper,
3, no doubt. Top 3. I'm gonna say.
No, you can't. No, because you have. Well, Trubin
okay.
maybe actually.
Trubin
only got the starts later. I'm saying
Trubin didn't start the whole time.
You got Otamendi, Antonio Silva, and Frederick probably the top 3. Yeah. Maybe Trubin 4, and then Di Maria 5. No, Rafa's got to be.
You have Frederick, Rafa, Otamendi, Antonio Silva, and Joel Neves, and Trubin. Then you got Di Maria 7th.
7th. Okay, that makes sense.
Now again, if you think of starting 11, go back.
From when is this?
This is for this season.
This season.
So if you think all matches, Taça Portugal, Taça Liga, Champions League, everything combined, when we signed Di Maria, the idea was like, here's Di Maria. He's coming to the team. He's gonna be either a rotation player, bench player, substitute player.
Yeah, I got you. I see.
He ain't gonna be he shouldn't be in the top 11 because he's not gonna be a regular. Maybe, but if you kind of look at some of the names, he's got more minutes than João Mario.
Mario, are you able to share this list by any chance on the screen? Because I feel like people.
You know what? Oh, that makes me question who dropped the ball. Who's? There's got to be a player. What I mean by that is there's got to be a player who suffered because of this. Who suffered because Di Maria came. João Mario instead of. But Neres, I guess so. But Neres played today. No, I think
today.
Neres was injured. Neres was injured for a while. He fell off. Right?
Neres was injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even when he came, he was.
So that's what it was. Hold on, Joe. Before I lose it, that's what it was. Neres. No, because yeah. Neres. João Mario sat bench for a minute. That's why he got mad, right? He was benched for a second, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It was a hot second, though. It was like nothing.
Because he bitched his way back into the lineup.
Right.
So if you're looking guys below Di Maria.
I'm just trying to think
Tino.
Because João Mario.
Tino, Baz got less minutes. He had a knock for a bit, right?
Yeah, well, Ba and Neres both suffered, but they were injured, so that's different. To me, the people that really suffered were Tino, Gouveia and Gouveia that were healthy, right?
And why I'm trying to say this shit is because it's not. I would not say it's Di Maria's fault. Okay, Neres got hurt. João Mario is still eating up minutes though. That's my fucking problem here, bro. There's got to be a kid or there got to be somebody who's more dynamic who's suffering because Di Maria now has seventh on the team with minutes played. João Mario, instead of losing his right wing, left wing position, what we thought was wild, I thought was crazy. I thought it was crazy that João Mario played winger for Benfica. That shit's crazy to me.
He's
slow. It's wild.
Look at that,
man. What's the filter? Is this matches still?
This is now goals. And then
Peter and then Peter Musa. God damn, I felt bad for that. All he ever did was come in and score a goal in the end of the game. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Rafa, this is an amazing season for Rafa. Amazing season for Rafa.
But the thing is,
I like Tankstead, by the way. I do want to say that. I think Tankstead is
all competitions, right?
Nice.
If you look at the Liga, that's the only thing that I'll say is if you look at the Liga, yes, he's having a good season. I don't want to take away from that.
Oh, missed chances.
There you go. That's who it is. That's it right there. The kid who's not even on the team anymore.
Yeah.
That's it right there. I agree, Nuno. I agree. I think I agree with this.
This is the thing that perplexes me. Look at this one here. This guy is barely featured. Someone earlier.
Up a little?
Sorry, Marcos.
Bruh, JJ signed João Mario to a lifetime contract. He signed him to a player-coach contract. So after this season, Roger's going to leave, and then João Mario is going to be our manager, guys. I didn't know if you knew that.
And he's going to start himself every match.
No, I think that's the trouble thing. I think Joe, you brought up the Rangers conversation a bit ago.
I wouldn't say Oh, sorry. I was just looking at the chat. I wouldn't say Prestiani or Hugo Felix. I actually think Hugo Felix is very overrated. If you look at him on the B team, he's not even playing that much necessarily. Yeah, he just scored in the last game, the penalty, but just in general, I think that the guys that are suffering the most are I would say it's Gouveia mainly, but to your point, like you said, Marcos Leonardo as well, right? Like I don't know, man. I think he's good. I was pretty heavy on him until I found out that we only spent, I think it was the 18 million straight up. I thought that was for 75% of his rights, which would have been ridiculous for me. And in case you heard the goal noise in the background, that was Sporting scoring 2-1. Anyway, fun while it lasted. But all this to say, I think that like the fact that the kid, his attitude, I just hope his attitude isn't brought down, because what's happening to him right now lately, Mario, reminds me of what we did to Jota, right, in that last season that he was here, where he would play. Yeah, you looked at him at the end of the season. Oh, yeah, he played 30 games. He played a lot. Look at the average time. It was 5 to 7 minutes.
6 minutes. I think a game like today where you're up, we got 3-0.
And the striker's confidence is everything.
Get him on. We're killing it. Get him on. That's why, again, it goes back to why Schmick on my Shadis is that I think you have a golden opportunity. This is the last game before Sporting, Porto, and Rangers to figure out if we got a striker.
This is actually good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fucking hilarious. That's just like, you know what? Real quick, I do want to ask this. How you guys think our president so far? Like, I know this sounds crazy, but I got asked this question yesterday too about João Neves. He was like, is he going to leave next year? I was like, I don't know.
But here's the thing.
Probably.
You know what's interesting?
I know, so probably. I said, here's the thing, though.
For money,
2 things.
You got to do the buyout.
You got to give up. Yeah, I said, you got to give us the meal. You got to give us the buyout.
I hadn't thought about? You know what I hadn't thought about before, and it's becoming more and more important now with the squad and the way we have all these players that are kind of foreign, right? Like we lost Chiquinho, for example. We loaned out a couple.
We didn't lose him. We know where he went.
Listen, right? Yeah, we actually don't know. He's like a lost bag of top, right? That thing's just out there.
We know where the fucking guy went.
Right. We got the air tag on him. He's somewhere out there.
You know what? We all waited for the day that he was going to leave, and then I was sad that he left. I was like,
No, Mario. What I was saying was, in general, one of the things that actually makes me more confident, because I was worried before. I'm like, okay, not only did they have a great season last season, and they're playing well this season. I'm talking about Antonio Silva and João Neves, right? But they also have the Euro coming up, and I think that they're both going to get some serious playing time in the Euro, especially with Pep's age. Frankly, for João Neves is concerned, Mateus Nunes is barely playing, right? You got a bunch of guys in terms of the midfield of Portugal, like Danilo, man, he's probably going to play center back before he plays midfield. Vitinha, yeah, he'll start. Probably Bruno will start, but he's going to get minutes. So all of this to say that he's going to get attention, but here's the thing. 2 things. One, I love that Antonio Silva picked Luis Sound's number 4, right? To me, that actually kind of says something to me a little bit. And someone said today, I'm starting to feel more and more like Antonio Silva is going to do what Luis Sound did, which I would love if he did. Don't get me wrong. Yep. But 2, here's the thing. We have fewer and fewer Portuguese players, these youngsters. A lot of the guys we get, they're Brazilian, they're Argentinian, blah, blah, blah. And we need more Portuguese homegrown players for European competitions because they don't count in terms of the registration to a certain extent. So it's really, I'm confident that we're keeping at least one of them. And again, if at the end of the day, if it becomes between you either let Antonio Silva go now and you keep João Neves for a year or 2, or you let João Neves go now and you keep Antonio Silva forever, or for 5 years, give me the one that's going to stay longer. That's all I want. They're both equally class. I both equally think they're worth their claws, but I think more importantly, they're both crazy Benfiquistas, and that's why I really want to see one of them stay for as long as it takes. Just give me, between the 2, the most years we can get out of it is what I want the end game to be. So if that means João Neves leaves in the summer and we keep Antonio Silva, so be it. But for me, just give me one of them for a couple of years. 3, 4, 5.
At the same time,
I'll say this.
With the fact that he's not getting any younger, right? If we can keep him another season, great, and all that fun stuff. But to have consistency, a consistent center back, especially with this guy, I don't know what about this club is, but it always feels like we lead from the back. That's where our leaderships come from. It'd be kind of cool to have Tony Silva as Otamendi ages out and goes
his understudy.
He's the guy that's here, and he's here for many years, and it's work. What Louis Zone people criticize, and again, I remember when it happened, they criticized the club heavily for giving him a big salary at the time to keep him. And like, you can't be giving a salary like that to a center back, blah blah blah. And at the time, it was big. Today, it's nothing. I think it's worth it, man. If all of a sudden they come with a massive check and they go after João Neves and they give him a huge check, we go back to Antonio Silva and we say, listen, we have a salary cap, but not for you. We got to start breaking that cap a little bit higher for a couple key players. That's all. We go, here's the cap for players on the team, and then here's the higher cap for players that are like your lifers, and we're willing to pay, and that's it. And that's how
you know what though.
Condition of it.
I love all this, like, you know, I love all this Benfiquism. I love that. But I'll say this. I've learned over the years, many years of being a Benfica fan, if someone came, knocked on the door, and say, here's $200 million for said player,
No, I'm saying.
I'm saying that's what they want. That's what they did. I mean, it's done. Done.
But I don't think the buyouts
Sayonara, you're not my problem anymore.
I think the buyouts now, seriously, with the way clubs have been spending money, especially some of these British clubs starting to think more about financial fair play and stuff, kind of seriously, right? Like, we're starting to see it a little bit more. I think that it's going to be tough to see players get bought out for their clauses, and it's just the higher the clause, the more bargaining power you have. And that's like ultimately what the clauses have always been for, right? That's why Barca clauses of $1 billion.
That's what the clause does. We sell on our terms. We're not shocking into
which is fine, which is what we want. Yeah. But at the same time, something else that I've seen here, and Brian brought it up, and some other people brought it up, we should use the money we have to sign Rafa and to sign Grimaldo and to sign these guys that leave on. I'm sorry, but like Rafa's always been kind of a Jekyll and Hyde to your credit, Mario, where he has one half of the season, like he's the best player on the earth. In the other half, he's on a milk crate, right? On a milk carton, saying he's missing. And then with Grimaldo always had the beef with the fans. First of all, he stayed, 6.5, 7 years. That's already a lot, frankly, for a player. So, like, thankfully he stayed that long. But when
it's a fucking business.
He wasn't on a free contract, because like he was always good. And the seasons in the beginning when he was really good, then he got hurt. That's different. But like the last 3-4 years, it was just a matter of like he would only show up in the big games, right? He'd show up, which is fine. I'd rather him do that instead of only showing up when the game's 4-0 already. Yeah. But he'd score against Porto here. He'd play well in the Champions League there. He couldn't defend. And then this last season, he was doing everything, and now he's at the best team in the world, the hottest team in the world, right? Leverkusen. They haven't lost a game at the top level at all.
They're so good, man. They're so good.
So like, crazy. Yeah, but to me, I'm okay. I don't regret not re-signing or not offering Grimaldo at all.
The only thing with Grimaldo for me is I think it's a shame that we mismanaged the contract, that we got nothing for him. That is a rarity. That's not normal for our club. We always get paid. I'd rather always get paid.
I think the worst part of it, guys.
6.5 years. The fact that we were able for that long to me is like huge.
I think the worst part, and the Benfica have always had this problem at the back and the left and the right backs, is that they're never prepared to lose them. That's my thing. Players are gonna fucking come and go, but you didn't have Aristic was there. No, you had nobody else to say, okay, this guy's gonna be the one to come up and take his spot. You know what I mean? They don't groom that position well at all. Like when we lost Nelson Semedo, it took till we got SL Ba, and there's people who don't even like SL Ba. Like there's people who don't even like him. You know what I mean? So it's wild to me. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but that's my thing is we don't prepare ourselves well to lose at that back positions. I think we got lucky with Antonio Silva. I think we did. And I don't when I say lucky, what I say by that is I think
he barely played the team. We got lucky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he came a lot longer because I remember even going back to like the Seleção, right? People were saying, pundits are saying, we're like, yo, once Pep is gone, it's just Ruben Dias, and Portugal have no center back future.
Antonio Silva.
But this was a while. But this was a while. Yeah, that's what now it's crazy. Now it's like we have
2 years.
Too many
changes.
Like
it's crazy. I think it's crazy. I think it's a great problem to have, but Benfica, well, my thing is, Grimaldo was their identity moving like offensively. Like that was our identity. Was Grimaldo's going to get the ball? He's going to run it up. He's going to send passes. He's going to kick free kicks. Like that's who we ran our offense through, and we weren't prepared to lose him. And I mean, I don't want to say we didn't miss a beat, but we're what 3 points ahead as we sit today. And you said it's 2-2 and Rio off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we'll see.
technically
It'll be
speaking,
nice,
like
man.
if
If
they
that can
win the game in
happen,
hand, we're pulling up. If everything were to stay as is,
Yeah.
I think they'll win this one.
Well,
Unfortunately, but
hey, quick question. You guys, we've been doing a hot streak lately of shows, man. This hasn't been happening in a while. You guys think it's likely that we might be free next weekend for the
next
Porto
weekend
match?
I'm working actually during the fourth game, so I could do a night show, but I'm not going to be able to watch the game live, so I need to.
You watch it.
But I could do Sunday night.
Mello, how's your Sunday night for you? It'd be like an 8 p.m.
Sunday
Mello
nights.
time,
Sunday
like,
night's good. I could do Sunday nights.
Like a 7
I'm
p.m.
saying
your time, Mello?
5 p.m. Yeah, 5.
Yep,
probably.
I'm good with that. 7 p.m. my time. Yep, I'm good with 7 p.m. my
9
time.
our time, like 10 or 9 our time, Joe. If you're thinking evening.
I could do 9 our time. That'd be
Yeah,
perfect.
so that's like 6 o'clock your time, Mello.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with 6.
I might be able to. I'll see if I can get him. It'll be late, but the Rangers guy might. I chatted with him today. If the schedule works, he might pop in.
Ooh.
He can
Because
give
we
us
could
like
do Sporting, Port, and.
Well, you know what you could do.
He's
You know
curious
you.
more about how we're looking right before the match with them, and we can get a bit of a preview. So if we depends on timing.
You know
like,
what we could.
he's
You know
actually
we could also. You could also, if it doesn't work out for that day, maybe get him early. We can record something with him.
Oh yeah.
I could
and
do
then
that.
play it.
I can someone
And then play
record
like
it
interview.
and do it as a clip.
Yeah, if you talk to him,
I'll do that in the
Mario,
morning after
give
the
him
Porto
some
match. We
questions.
do it
Like
in the
have some
evening.
questions. Yeah, have some questions for him. Run it, and then we'll play it like a video. Just if
Cool.
you know.
I'll keep it short.
The
Yeah.
guys in Scotland, or where's the Rangers from? Where are they from?
Scotland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Scotland.
the land of the haggis.
Fucking A.
Hey, and that's crazy too because Rangers, if we do want to talk about it real quick, in terms of the teams we could have gotten, there were a couple teams that again scared me that I said before, which were Leverkusen and Liverpool. Right, the other teams.
But really though, Joe, they're trash. Those 2 teams are trash. I wasn't worried about them. You know what I'm saying?
I hate German teams, man. I hate German teams. They're such a bugaboo.
I hate German teams too.
He asked me that today. He asked me of the teams, and he's a straight shooter in the sense of not saying I'm not asking for a comment. Like there's a lot of good teams in Europe. He was kind of feeling were we very happy to get Rangers, or were we like where would we rank? And I said middle of the pack because I told him, to be honest, when you look at like Liverpool, you look at Leverkusen, which have bad history with the Germans, so I would have been nervous with that. Then you have like AC Milan, you got tough teams like the Italian teams. But I said at the end of the day, you know, they're not. If we got Brighton, other teams we could have gotten, that would have been a lot happier together.
West Ham.
West Ham.
I would have been happy with. I would have been cool with that. One of those English Premier League teams. You know what I'm saying?
I think West Ham would have done great against. It would have been easier.
I think so too.
So I put Rangers in the middle, man. Like they're not the toughest team to get. They're not the easiest team. I think they're in the middle. They're going to give us a good fight. They're doing really well. Now, granted, they're in the Scottish League, but they're doing very well this year. They got 3 great players that are killing.
I'm not counting Rangers out. I'll never count that team out. The team is
it'll be a train wreck.
Especially
that team always has a couple dangerous players. Always got a couple dangerous players.
Their captain has
a couple seasons ago, that Kai Kent that used to play there. I always thought he would be so perfect play right wing for Benfica. Like I always just thought, like, man, that kid would be amazing for Benfica. Yeah. I know he's somewhere else now, but we couldn't get a player like that. That guy was nice. I like
that was the George Jesus train wreck when the second.
That was the game. That was actually one of the crazier games because that was the one where
2-2 and 3-3.
Otamendi got sent off like in like the first half. It was like because we were winning 1-0 and then we had a red card. I'm pretty sure it was, if I'm not mistaken.
One of them we collapsed on it and they got like a bunch of goals, but then we kind of fought back a bit.
That was the one with the red card because even it was Darwin and Rafa scored. Like Darwin scored like the last minute of the game. Out of breakaway. That was like a good comeback story because again, that was we ended up finishing second in the group, yes, and then we ended up getting Arsenal, yes. So like ultimately they got the better of us, right? Because we had 2 draws, but they finished first in the group. But yeah, that was like a good. I think we played them well, and I think more importantly now we have a better squad, a more mature squad. I think we're the favorites, right?
No, but I look at the squad, so they still have 6 or 7 players from the day they faced us. We only have Rafa since the day we faced them. It goes to show how much turnover we've had. And it's not a knock on us. It's just it's a very different team facing Rangers. I think if we show up at our A game, it'll be a great game. It'll be a fun game for us. I'm just, again, my paranoia is truly on how bipolar.
We start off with Toulouse, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we did with Toulouse, too. And that was a shit show. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? But at the same time, as the old rule is, you get your wins
as
at
long
home.
as you go through.
As long as you win at home.
I rather start away, Melo, because then you're like, okay, you need that match to. But granted, I say that, but Benfica historically have played better. It seems like when the second match is away, right? Like we tied Liverpool 3-3 away. We beat Ajax away in the Champions League. When it came down to Bruges, we killed them away, right? We didn't beat them by that much at home. Maccabi, when we needed to score the 6 goals to get first place, we did it on the road. So like. Honestly, you start thinking about it, and you're like, oh, I'd rather us play at home. Outside of Portugal, like, I think we played better on the road. That's why I just kind of came to that conclusion recently.
You know what, though? I think we have a really good defense. That I don't know what it is. I'm really confident. I think Otamendi has been playing really good this season. Like,
we fall
in my mind.
And he's been playing great, Melo. I'm not discrediting that statement. I'm validating it. But then they have games where they just completely fall asleep. And they stand around.
Yeah. I think a lot of that, though, is like playing with guys like, and I'm not knocking them, but playing guys like Frederick and Morato at right back, left back. I mean, it's I just wish we were more traditional in the back, right? Like that guy, like Alvarado or something. What's his name? The guy, the Spanish guy. Alvaro, right? Alvaro and Bon. I think they need more time in the back. I think that. I don't know. I think it comes at different angles. When you're a left back, right back, you just see it differently. It's less pressure on your center backs. I don't know. When you truly have a defensive kind of like a little bit of defensive like responsibility, like just growing up as a defender. Yeah, exactly. And Turbin too. Yeah, with a goalkeeper like that, man, shit, we could win. We could win it. And maybe remember Luis said we were going to win the Champions League this year. Maybe he meant to say Europa League. Yeah.
Hey,
I think that's what he meant.
As long as you're winning, you can still live the dream, eh? All right,
if we win the Europa League, I'd be fucking juiced. That'd be fucking amazing.
I'd lose my mind. It's a title, European title.
Luis would definitely be there too.
You wouldn't be able to convince me that we weren't better than the Champions League winner. I'll tell you that right now.
We would get to see.
You couldn't convince me.
We get a shot at the Super Tassa, right?
UEFA one. That's right. Who are we playing? Who do you think's winning the Champions League, guys?
City again, and then guess what? Bernard Silva, Ruben Dias, all of them are going to be out with knocks that week.
Own goals.
Ederson, I'm telling you.
You think City's going to win it again?
Because here's the thing: they already got their Club World Cup, so they don't care. It's not like he's never won one. Yeah. He's like, I already won one. Let's give it to Benfica now.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be tight. That'd be nice. That way, it would validate me a lot. Like I told you.
Any title, man. Any European title I'll be excited for. And yeah,
he had surgery. He's out. Bernat had surgery. Yeah, he's hurt.
Till April.
I like that guy too.
He's done though. That's the thing. You know what I mean? That's just a poor loan. That's really the only poor decision I think Benfica has made all season. In terms of man management stuff.
He needed a guy though.
And things of that nature. Not what it has to do with.
You needed a guy though. And I know you don't mean in a bad way, but you needed a guy that went and got a guy. You know, I don't hate him for that. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, they did it in a position that made sense. Who else did we get in on loan?
For sure.
Right? Nobody. Technically speaking, right? You have Rolls Heiser who's technically on loan. You have Carreras now that's on loan, but it's the same position. So like you did reinforce the position that made sense at loan.
It just didn't work out. It is what it is. All right, cool. We're gonna want to call it.
Yeah. We got a show next week, it sounds like, which is good.
Yeah, we can get another show going on.
I'll see you guys Sunday night then.
All right. Should I end it off with that video, the play-by-play of João Mario and Schmidt in the parking lot?
I like that.
I think that's a good one. Okay.
Wait, do you have the other one?
No, it's not João Mario, man. It's Salvio, Brian. It's Salvio. We're free. We freed that we cleared Salvio's name, basically, is what we did.
Sorry, which one, Joe, did you say?
Were you saying there's João Neves and Tony Silva one? I'm not sure if you had a real one or
no. I don't have the real one. I just got the photo. I just put the photo on. That's actually, you know what? That's a good point. Joe, real quickly, that is an absolute amazing point, which I'm like, what the hell? We're talking about so many different topics, but unfortunately, Antonio Silva, his grandfather, passed away, which is tragic. What's even sadder is João Neves and his mother. Now, my understanding is obviously there's an illness that had been fought for a long time, but it is a very, very tough thing for anyone. It doesn't matter what situation is. That's why I did this as the still for the video. For anyone that's watching the replay, they're going to see that as like the image for the video. I thought it was cool what the fans did to clap at each of their jersey numbers for the 4th minute and 87th minute, right? And it was touching. I always get very scared how a human being is going to be able to deal with such a tragic event. I think it would be unfair to if these guys underperformed and people got mad at them. The reality is everyone deals with this stuff differently. And yeah, man, I hope they do well. It was an emotional win, and yeah, that one touched me quite a bit actually.
Yeah, and then after the Toulouse, obviously João Neves was looped wearing the black armband, and he gives him the kiss at the end of the game, and the fans are there, and he's crying like.
It's bigger than football sometimes.
I can't even imagine. But you know what? It's good because our club is one that recognizes that, and it's not a shallow recognition either. Like I'm not gonna.
I think it's genuine. I think the love there is genuine. The care is there. I think the players know it.
There are kids too. That's why. And especially real quick, Mario. But like in Antonio Silva and João Neves, that relationship, the kids have been roommates for like 8 years.
They know each other's family,
right? You think of a college roommate that you live with for a year or two becomes your best friend, let alone 8 years. At that age, when you're away from your family, you guys play for the same team. You've won European silverware together.
Heard the stories about the family. They probably have seen each other's families here and there. Like there's a deep connection.
Yeah, like they're away from home and they become each other's home. And so for that to affect both of them in such a short time, and I actually will say, even Ivan Rakitic used to play for Barca, Sevilla. Now he's in Saudi. He mentioned it. You had some other players mentioning it. And yeah, so I'm glad that people are respecting it. Hopefully they continue to respect it. But I was happy that our fan base did what I think we needed to do. And proud of it,
And the one thing it's hard to say this, but the reality is, you have two choices. When something happens, you can wallow in sorrow, and everyone has the right to do that if they want to, or you can just go to work and grit it, and it sucks, and you can cry at work if you have to cry at work, and that's what he did in Toulouse, and you can see it was here today. But each day showing up to training, the fact that he made the decision both of them made the decision to still go into training because they have all the right to take time off in the club.
No, and guess what? No one would fault them, to your point, Mario. Not to
no one would fault them. But I think selfishly as a fan, the fact that they're handling it the way they are, I think that's the best thing because it allows you to mourn them, celebrate them, and at the same time, hopefully not let it linger. Because I do feel when it comes to loss, which is tough, is some people can put themselves in a very dark hole. And the longer you leave yourself in that hole, the harder it is to get out.
Yeah.
So, they're showing their maturity because a lot of people, when they lose someone that close to them, sometimes they're older, right? You may experience it a bit more. A young individual might have less experience, and they're showing like tremendous maturity how they're handling it. So it's impressive. And again, just the well wishes for what it's worth from everyone. They seem to appreciate it. So.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, Chad.
Take care.
Peace.
See ya.
Over $1.2 trillion